Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Pat Miller Show for July 15th. What day is it? June 15th, 2021. I'm Pat Miller, the Idea Coach, and you are tuned in on one of the Idea Coach channels, be it LinkedIn or Twitch or Facebook. We love you. Thanks for stopping in. On today's show, you're going behind the scenes. And what we're doing is a beta test of this big idea that I have, which is creating a radio show specifically for small business owners where we can grow, fix, and celebrate their business. That means I need your help. We have room on the show today if you want to come on and ask a question on how you could grow your business, or maybe celebrate a win that you've had in your business. Either one is good with me. But if you want to appear on the show, click the link that's on the screen right now. You got to type it into your browser. But visit that link, and you can join Tom Mitt, Ted Carew, and Megan Schwan, who's standing by to be on the show. But we've got room for at least one more caller. So during our broadcast today, if you want to join us, click that link, and you can come on. So what we do is we make it sound like a radio show. We have a lot of fun, and because you are watching it with me, I just love seeing the chat. The chat is fantastic. So ideas, questions, comments, sarcastic remarks, they are always welcome inside the chat because that makes it part of the fun. Okay, so let's get a thumbs up from our panelists. Panelists, you good to go? Thumbs up if you can do that. Okay, great. We're going to play radio, boys and girls. I want your feedback. I want your help, and I've got room for one more caller. So if you feel like this is going to be fun, join us. So with that, let's start the show.
Here we go.
Broadcasting from the small business capital of America.
This is WIIFM Milwaukee.
An Idea Coach station.
Broadcasting from the small business capital of America. This is the Pat Miller Show, where we help small businesses, solopreneurs, and side hustlers one by one, live without a net. I'm your host, Pat Miller, the Idea Coach. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Now, small business is lonely and hard, but together we are here to grow, fix, and celebrate your small business. And when you listen in and you're a part of the show, you're being backed by the Idea Collective for small business owners. We're here to join you on your small business journey. It's your dream. Don't grow it alone. Now, speaking of, if you're a part of the show, you're playing along while you're listening. That means you might come up with a killer idea that I miss. Likely, in fact. Jump into the show chat and tell us about it. Or if you're listening to the playback podcast, find our guests and contact them with your brilliant ideas. One more note, we have one slot available on the show today. So if you want to call in and get some advice for your small business or just show off a big old win that you have, that's cool too. Hit the link that's on the screen right now and we will squeeze you in on the show. So with that, sit back, relax, grab a cold beverage, and let's create some ideas. Now, before we get to our first caller, Megan, I got to share some exciting news. November 5th, 6th, and 7th, we're getting the entire small business world together for the Idea Collective Retreat. When I say this is big, I mean, it sounds like I'm just doing a bunch of promo when I say, oh, there's a big deal. You don't want to miss it. No, seriously, peeps, this thing is going to be bananas. The 5th of November, we're going to get together and gather and enjoy ourselves and put our cell phones away and make deep connections in the small business community. On Saturday, we're going to learn how to grow our business from two amazing keynotes, and our big time afternoon keynote, she's a big deal. Trust me on this one. We will announce real soon. And then on Sunday the 7th, we're going to set our goals for 2022, which sounds make-believe. 22. I mean, are we really in 22 already? Man, I'm old. Either way, it's going to be awesome. Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, November 5th through the 7th. Stay tuned to the show. Find our website, patmillerideacoach.com, for more information. It is going to be epic. So with all of that said, let's welcome our first caller today. Megan, welcome to the show. Tell us who you are, what you do, and how we can help you today.
Thanks for having me, Pat. I am Megan Schwan. I own Sidekick Accounting Services. So we do small business bookkeeping, accounting, taxes, CFO services, and tax planning. And we help businesses understand and organize and use their numbers to grow profitable and successful companies.
Cool. All right. So we like profit and we like understanding our numbers, even though it's sometimes tough to do. So what's on your mind? How can we help you today?
Yeah, so I guess that's a little bit about my question. So I'm launching a campaign this week that's called Mark 'em Up Challenge. It's a hashtag. And the premise behind it is making finances fun for people to look at and um, talk about, because it's always a conversation that people like to shy away from. So I guess my question for you, Pat, is how can I get people to want to talk about their finances?
Oh boy. I mean, that's why you're on the planet. We don't want to talk about finances. We want you to do the finances. How have you ever gotten anyone to get interested in finances if they weren't naturally interested in finances?
Well, I mean, up until this point, a lot of times people want to start digging into their finances because something's gone wrong. And I guess the premise behind the hashtag challenge is to get people to start being proactive versus just reactive to their finances. So I've kind of come on, board with them on the back end of like, oh, there's something wrong, or, something maybe specific that they're trying to accomplish, like maybe getting a loan, and they haven't had anything in order. This past year, I think we saw a lot of people scrambling because they wanted to apply for PPP or EIDL and they needed to get caught up. I really start to see enjoyment from finances kind of when people get to the higher level where they can really see the value of being able to look at it. And I guess I'm trying to figure out how to start showing that value before you get to that point of, higher level, so bringing it to like the smaller businesses to start being more proactive.
No, and I think that's good. And it is important for small businesses to know their numbers. I'm not contesting you there. My challenge to you is people don't want to know their finances. They want to know what comes out of their finances. In other words, it sounds like you're on hard mode if you're trying to get people interested in finances when you could get them interested in having more money in their pocket or driving
Okay.
more profit or having more money at the end of the month and really focusing on the outcome of what happens when you mind your finances. When you said mark 'em up challenge, that's where I thought you were going, which is let's charge more for what we're doing so we drive more profit. Is that the heart of the challenge?
It's definitely could be an outcome. So the challenge is really to like get people to look at their numbers, like spend time looking at it, because that's where you can start asking those questions. Do I need to charge more? Where am I spending things that may be too much, or I can start adjusting, becoming more efficient. So just kind of getting people to start looking at their finances and make it tangible, for regular people. Because I think sometimes people think, oh, I don't have a business degree or I can't understand that. But the truth is it's just math. It's just being able to quantify it and look at it from your business and your perspective to be able to make it make sense.
And I think you're looking at it from a craftsman's point of view, meaning
Okay.
you do all the hard work and you want to show people all the hard work that you do and get them interested in it. But that's not why you're on the planet. You're on the planet to make me not have to think about that stuff. And the way that maybe this comes to life is if I hired a contractor to put a screened in porch in the back of my house, I don't care how they do it. I want to sit in the back porch and drink a beer. Just do it. I
Okay.
hire you because I don't want to know all that stuff,
Yeah.
but I would love to talk to you about how I might make more money once you do the stuff. So I think the conversations are important, but I would really challenge the concept of getting them interested in their finances because I don't think anyone really wants to do that.
Okay. So really kind of just focusing on like the outcome as part of the challenge. So
Yeah, I think so because you're the service provider and you can help them when it comes to knowing their numbers. So the target audience that you're trying to reach, because let's look at what success looks like. Success for you is a lot of people that don't already use you start a conversation. So they need to get interested in the idea that you can make their problems go away. And then you need to share with them the result if they do. So if the Mark 'em Up challenge drives more profit in 30 days than anything you've ever done, let's start the conversation. That's all you need to say, because it's not about how you do what you do. It's about the outcome of what you do. And that's the heart of any good marketing promotion. So, Megan, I love the question. And I love that you're on the planet because I literally could not do what you do for a living. But I appreciate the call today and I wish you a lot of luck with the promotion. And that's how we do it here on the Pat Miller Show. You come with the question, I give you my ideas. And sometimes it's not what you want to hear. Sometimes it's an idea that could be helpful. But either way, it's all meant with the best intentions so you can be bigger, better, and more successful. All right, let's go to our next caller. Ted is on the show. Ted, great to see you, my friend. Tell us who you are, what you do, and how we can help you today.
Sure. I'm Ted Crew, owner of Total Health and Safety Solutions. We go into organizations and basically become the fractional safety management and take the safety burden off of many companies and help them and assist them.
Okay, that sounds good. So what's on your mind? How can we help you today?
Well, one thing that we're struggling a little bit with is going after small businesses to help them. We're struggling a little bit with how to get to those owners of those companies. A lot of times, we're trying different avenues of trying to get to them. So we're trying to figure out a way that maybe people have used of getting directly to the owners versus going to the intermediate people within that.
Okay. So what is the message that an owner would need to hear? Because if we understand why you need to talk to the owner, maybe there's a way that we can come up with a marketing message or a campaign or a tactic to get you to them.
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing, obviously, is number one, keeping their families together so they can know that every night that they go home, their employees are going home safe, and also making their employees more efficient and safe at the same time, which will increase the bottom line of the company. So I think that those are the main things that drive safety.
Okay. So when you get a hold of them, what do you want to share with them, right? You want to keep their employees safe. You want to make sure that everyone stays together. But what do you need to tell them? What do you want to show them? What's the product?
The product is that we basically become their safety employee without being their employee. And being able to get to know their employees, take care of those issues so they can run their business. And we can take care of the safety aspect of it.
Okay. So similar to what we talked about with Megan, you're not selling safety contracting. You're not even selling a safety employee. You're virtual. The benefit of using you is that you can sleep at night, right? Worry-free. So one way that you could go about that is maybe you create a little kit that you mail to the small business owners with a sleeping cap and 2 pills of Sominex and a little sleep mask and a note saying, having trouble sleeping, worried about your staff getting hurt, work with us and you'll sleep like a baby, or something like that. But you need something clever to get to the heart of what you're providing. Because again, like with Megan, nobody cares how you keep their employees safe. They'll start talking to you if it makes them feel better, makes them more money, and helps them. Do you know what I'm going for there? I'm feeling like a campaign or something like that.
Yeah, being able to create something that they can see right away what's the end benefit for them.
Yeah, for sure. And is there anything like how many people is success? Like how many small businesses would you need to talk to feel like a campaign like that paid off?
Probably like about not very many, around that 20 to 30 range.
Okay, so 20 to 30 conversations would be success. And what's your close rate? Are you good at closing people when you finally get their attention?
The close rate has been very, very good.
Okay,
excellent.
So maybe what you do is you have a two-way promotion here. You're sending out, you find your ideal customers, you send them the safety kit that helps them sleep at night. It's got a theme, it's got some chamomile tea, it's got some stuff to make, it's an evening thing. And then you put on the card, we'd love to talk to you about your safety at 6:30 in the morning. Oh, is that too early because you're not sleeping well? Well, if you worked with us, it'd be fine. Or something clever and fun. If 6:30 doesn't work, that's fine. We'll meet when you're available. But, click this link, Ted Career or totalsafety.com/sleep at night, and really get after that user benefit because there's so much to talk about. You just want to focus on what the outcome is if you're trying to get their attention.
Great.
That makes sense?
Yeah, it does.
All right, man. 20 or 30 meetings, and how quickly can you get 20 or 30 meetings done? What are you thinking on that? We talk about 2-3 days, something like that? Is that how long it's going to take?
Give it a couple weeks. I can do that.
All right, beautiful. Well, good luck with the promotion. Do us a favor. When you get those 20 or 30 meetings and you're so busy you can't stand it, call back to the show and share your small business success story. We really would appreciate it. Thanks for the call.
Thank you for your help.
All right, so here's what we've got. We've got 2 more callers on the line today. 3 more callers, excuse me. Nick and Earl and Tom are standing by. We're going to help them as we grow, fix, and celebrate their business here on The Pat Miller Show. Coming up next. Hey, everybody, we're on a commercial break. Hi, it's a commercial break. Ted, you're awesome, man. Thank you for coming on. Hey, we're in a commercial break. All right, Megan, thank you for coming on, too. You guys can hang out with us if you want. Tom, I'm coming to you next. So we're going to restart the show here in just a second, but I hope you're enjoying watching us here on whatever social media platform you're watching, all of this gets mixed down and put out into a podcast form as well. And if you want to come on the show, you can reserve the day and time that works for you. PatMillerShow.com is the website. So with that, let's get back to it. Welcome back to the Pat Miller Show. I am Pat Miller, the Idea Coach, and this is the show where we celebrate small business. Our job is to let the world know that we're out here working our buns off, building our dream, and hopefully this show is your daily companion so you know you don't have to grow it alone. Up next on the show, Tom is here. Tom, my friend, great to see you. Tell us who you are, what you do,
and how we can help music going. That's good.
Hey, you like that? Little dance music?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I'm a first-time caller, a long-time listener. How's that?
I love it. So tell us what you do.
Pat, my name is Tom Midd. I'm with TBG Technologies. We are a technology support company specifically focused on small businesses. And by small, I mean really small. We're talking about 20, 25 users and less, with the vast majority of ours being, between 5 and 10 users. The ones that nobody generally wants to spend a lot of time with because they don't have a lot of money. But they need our help more than anybody. So that's who we take care of.
Okay. I love it. So what's on your mind? How can we help you?
Well, like every entrepreneur, I always thought that I knew everything there was to know. And also, like most small business owners, you kind of want to focus on sales. But I'm going to go a little different. My question has to do with improving the product delivery, the systems involved with that, because I firmly believe if you do a good job with your product and your service, the sales will occur off of that, or at least certainly will encourage them. So in the service world, every call we get is custom. Everyone is different. Every business is a little different that we work with. And so it's always been a challenge to create systems that are not, that can handle multiple types of issues and multiple types of setups. We do a lot more than just simply fixing things. We do an awful lot of consulting and helping and reviewing and, things like that. So, it's always been kind of a trick to get those systems in place.
And that system that you're talking about will help your staff communicate with each other better, or it will make the customer so happy that they may tell other customers. Which end do you want to focus on?
Well, I go for the customer side of it because if I take care of the customers, they take care of the business. So
okay. So the first question that I'd have for you then is, how far off of ideal is your current system? Where do you think you're falling down with your system?
I think one of the things that happens in the IT world often is the communication between us and the customers. Sometimes gets a little ragged. Right? In other words, the customer, because we're trying to bridge that gap between what we know and what the customer wants. They don't know much about technology. We know a lot, and sometimes that communication is an issue. Can become a problem.
Okay, so back to similar to what we talked about with Ted and what we talked about with Megan. How much do they need to know other than their systems are up and everything's working great? And you're then being purposeful about proactively saying, "Hey guys, everything's cool. Have a nice weekend." And making sure that they know that they're protected and that their uptime is working and that they know that you're on it, even if you're not telling them what you did, because they don't care what you did as long as things are working. How do you tell that proactive message?
Well, we don't, and you're absolutely right. We tend not to tell them every little detail about what we did because that really gets into the nerd weeds when we do that. But we try not to go there, although sometimes it's a little difficult. But the biggest issues is sometimes what the customers tells us. In the case of an issue they're trying to resolve, they tell us one thing, and it means something to them. Those words don't always mean the same thing to us. So I'll give you a great example. It says somebody will call up and say my computer crashed. Well, that's a very, very broad term. Crash could mean my mouse stopped moving, or crash could mean my computer has smoke belching out the back of it. I mean, there's a wide range there. And so one of the first things we have to do is make sure we understand what it is the customer's issue is. And sometimes it's not as simple as, just, smoke pouring out the back.
Okay.
And so that's a big part.
Well, the greatest tech people I've ever run into are bilingual, meaning they talk human and they talk nerd. So my question to you is, the person that they call into, are they a nerd or are they a human?
They are a nerdin.
Okay. So someone that can speak human. Because if someone said to me, my computer crashed, I would want someone to be Fisher Price. What are you seeing? What are
Right.
you feeling? Do you smell anything? Not some sort of technology report, because they don't know that. And I
Right.
would imagine they would feel more heard if a human answered the phone rather than some nerd.
Well, and the human has to have some knowledge of nerdness so that they can ask
Right.
the appropriate questions too. You're actually right.
Yeah, so that's the bilingual part, is that we have someone who can speak like a human and translate to the nerds. And I say that with love, by the way. I'm not taking a shot at you computer guys. And I would hope that they're true computer guys and they would embrace the term nerd.
Oh, we
Right?
always do. Sure.
Okay, love it. Okay. So the other thing I was thinking about communication and using it as a marketing tool, I would think that at some point in your workflow of bringing on new customers or keeping new customers, there is some sort of rhythm where they're getting reports to you at the beginning and the end of each week of how things are going. And I know enough to be dangerous about TBG Technologies. Your tagline is
making computers behave.
Right. So on Friday afternoon, are you sending them a report card from the principal's office and playing off that line and saying, hey, everything in your system got an A this week? Perfect. They behaved all week. Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend. Or something like that plays along your tagline. I just keep coming back to, it has to be English. It has to be like a human said it. And it has to be proactive, not reactive. Because the worst time to talk to a nerd is when your computer isn't working, because then your computer's not working and they don't know why and you can't explain it, and then you're dead meat.
That's a good point. That's very good.
So I'm not sure if that's helpful, but I would definitely lean on those parts of the computer practice to try and make sure that you are getting everyone where they need to be. But I appreciate the call today, Tom. It's always great to see you, my friend, and hopefully it was helpful. All right, so that's how it works. You got a problem? You got an opportunity? You got something you want to capture? Call into the show. We'd love to help you however we can. Also, small business celebrations happen every once in a while. Someone's got something good going on in their business. They call in, they celebrate it. Because when you run a small business, you can only high five your dog so many times. So you call in here, you tell us what happened, we all cheer, and then I grill you for how you made it happen. That way we can all learn something. Up next on the show is Earl Smith. Earl, great to see you. Tell us who you are, what you do, and how we can help you today. I'm not hearing you, Earl. Let's see here. I'm not hearing Earl. Are you guys hearing Earl? I'm not hearing Earl. No. All right, Earl, I'm going to take you back off the air here. Nick, I'm going to bring you back on. Hey, everybody, it just happened again. That was fun, right? So you're watching blooper reels in real time. All right, cool. So we're going to go back into the bump, and we are going to bring Nick on. So Earl, see if you can figure out your audio there, friend. And we're going to come back here in just a second. All right, Nick, stand by. Here we go. Well, it's always great to talk to you, Tom. Thanks for coming on today, and best of luck to you and TBG Technologies. So that's how it works. We answer questions, we help people solve problems, and we also do small business celebrations, which is always fun. We hear about your successes, and then we grill you for all the information we can get, because your success can teach someone that's tuning in something they need to know. All right, let's go back to the phone. Nick Christensen is with us. Nick, hello, sir. Great to see you. Tell us who you are, what you do, and how we can help you today.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm Nick Christensen with Rely Local. We're an advocate for all good things local, helping local businesses gain visibility and connections.
I love that. So do you have a question today or a celebration? What's on your mind?
Sure. Question I have is I'm taking this program national, and I'm looking for what you might think is the best way to capture entrepreneurs across the country to partner with Rely Local to run Rely Local in their own communities.
That's great. Okay. So have you found the ideal partner as far as the type of person that would want to be the captain in their market to make Rely Local Houston or wherever it might be? Do you know the type of person to go get a hold of?
Yeah, I would definitely be an outgoing person, somebody that's looking to be a helper. They've maybe been a helper in many aspects through their lives. They care about local, obviously, but they want to help. They have good engagement. They've maybe had past experience with community activities. have pretty good knowledge of technology for the aspects of the program, but not a major part. It's that connection builder, that's that visibility helper type person.
Okay. So what goes into the Rely Local program? I know that you bring small businesses together, but what happens when a market, let's just use Houston because I said it. What happens in Houston when you're up and running with Rely Local? How do the businesses get value out of it?
Well, they can partner up with the program and get visibility through the web, social media, a lot of great business connections, some cooperative things. There's a lot of possible networking involved, the mobile app aspects. So it's really kind of a one-stop shop for a small local business to engage with Rely Local to help them. And so they can really get quite a bit out of it if they're willing to engage with the program. So it's kind of a two-way street there.
Okay, that makes sense. So do you have to have someone on the ground in every market to make it work? Because if there's a message board and an app and a web presence and social presence, you don't need to have someone in Houston to make that work.
In theory, yes, I think you're right. But it works much better if there's somebody on their side that actually can be in the businesses talking with them. That's a big part.
Sure.
A lot of the smaller businesses might not be tech savvy, or many of them don't have time to be involved with a lot of tech things, but they would love somebody to stop in and say, hey, how's it going? How can I help you? And be a part of their engagement to better their business, build better.
Well, and this is some great information. So what I would say, if I owned it, what I would consider is kind of a hub and spoke concept where you've got someone in Milwaukee, let's say, and they're already up and running and their program is great. Well, we start going out from the center to other markets. So we say, you know what, Milwaukee person, we don't have Peoria, Illinois yet. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to create the message board for Peoria. You're going to create the social media campaign for Peoria. You're going to create the mobile app iteration for Peoria. And you're going to go get 100 new members and a new head of the program in Peoria. And once you do that, you're going to get upstream, or what's it called? Downline revenue for the life of that market. So you give them a growth opportunity by lighting up a new market, but you rush to 50 or 100 members through the people that you have already while you try and grow from the center out, thinking whatever it needs to get traction. Let's say it's 50 members. At that point, you can identify the local leader who can take it from 50 to 500 to 5,000 to whatever it might be. Is that something that you think you could do, or is that something you've tried?
I've tried it in similar ways with like a spiff type program like that, and it's been semi-successful. The differences there is that people around other areas might not have good knowledge in another area, but it's possible they might. So I could see how that could be a supplement to what I'm trying to do. It's the issue really comes down to that it's a very simple and straightforward program, but it comes across as complicated because it's not like traditional media where you're just whipping an ad somewhere and hoping people will see it. This is actually an engagement type program where the individual that would be coordinating it, the territory owner, if you will, would actually need to have knowledge of the area, engagement with the area to be much more effective. You were mentioning a few minutes ago about the internet basis. It could maybe work that way, but I don't know if it would be as successful as it could.
Well, and I think I just want to reframe and challenge you slightly. You don't need someone to run Peoria. You don't need them to be a settler. You just need them to be a pioneer. And that means I need 20 businesses just to host an event that I can invite other businesses to and find the local market captain, and then you're out. You don't need someone to go settle the land and make everyone their best friend. You just need to get the market up and running and find the local settler inside Peoria. If you were able to do that, maybe that's a way that you could go about it. And once you get that going, if you could get the plan where we need to get to X members and a leader in that market and you're done, you may end up having someone on staff that's literally just a pioneer, and their job is to open market after market after market, because if you systemize it correctly, you might be opening multiple markets at once, which could be a real way that you could explode.
Yes, I would love that.
All right. Well, hey, I would love that too. Okay. So similar to the other folks, when you get Peoria up and running, that's my hometown. I grew up in Peoria. That was not happenstance. So when you get Peoria up and running, I'm coming down there for a big old steak and maybe what are they now? The Peoria Chiefs is the minor league baseball team there. We'll go over to Paradise and throw some dice at the casino. We could have a really good time down there in Peoria.
Yeah,
Well,
sounds
Nick, thanks for
wonderful.
calling in, man.
Everybody
It's great
check-
to see you, and hopefully that was helpful. I wish you a lot of luck as you grow Rely Local around the country. Okay, we're going to come back to our friend Earl and see if he's got his audio figured out. Earl, my friend, do we have you? Tell us who you are, what you do, and how we can help you today. Oh, Earl, no, your audio's not working. Oh, man. All right. So, Earl, I'm sorry, pal. I think we're going to have you on a future episode because something's not right when it comes to your audio. All right. So, if you watched us on the webcast, this is what we do on the show. We have some fun, and I'm going to connect with Earl offline and see if I can help him out. But if you want to be on the show, it's real easy. Hit patmillershow.com. That is the link where you can reserve a time that works for you so we can grow, fix, or celebrate your business. And if this kind of support, if this kind of companionship gets you excited, you wish you had this every day in your business, this is what we're doing inside the Idea Collective collaboration community. Learn more about that at patmillerideacoach.com and keep your ears open. We are announcing the Small Business Retreat in early November. That announcement date is on July 7th. Again, more information on that is up at the website. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And if you enjoyed the show, share it with somebody. That's how this thing is going to grow. I'm your host, Pat Miller, the Idea Coach, here to help you on your small business journey. It's your dream. Don't grow it alone. Okay, and we're done. Now watch. Earl's audio is going to work. Earl, do I have you? No. Am I crazy? Tom, can you hear Earl?
No, I can't hear him. I'll bet you, Earl, if you can you hear me? Nod your head left and right or something.
Earl, can you hear us?
All right. If you look at your volume control, it's a little speaker icon at the bottom right of your screen. Does it have a little X through it? Okay, click on it. Is the bar all the way to the top, like 100%? Okay. On your Restream screen, you know, where all of us are seeing, there's a little microphone icon and a camera icon. Is that microphone icon?
All right.
You got a red line through it.
Tom, I'm glad you're here. Hang on just 1 second, Tom and Earl. If you're tuned into the stream, thanks for tuning in today. We're going to pop this off. We would love to see you on a future episode of the show. Call in.